All right, today you're going to learn how to write an opinion essay. Remember, your previous essay was a for and against essay that has a very certain structure. In the introduction, you make a general comment on the subject, but you don't give your opinion yet, but show that there are two sides to your question. In the main body, you have two paragraphs, one for the pro arguments and one for the con arguments. It is your own decision whether you first present the pro side and then the con side, or vice versa. A fourth paragraph in the for and against essay is your conclusion, where you summarize the arguments and then, if possible, give your own opinion. Now, an opinion essay is somewhat different in structure. You actually have to answer a question that usually is a yes-no question. For example, should everyone have a university education? This is a question you can answer with yes or no. And no matter how you answer it, of course, you have to justify your answer. So, for an opinion essay, in the introduction, you again introduce your topic in a general way, but you also immediately in the introduction say whether you agree or disagree. So you do mention your opinion in the introduction of an opinion essay. Now, because you have stated your opinion in the introduction, people will want to know what arguments you have that support your decision. So the paragraphs of the main body are those arguments that support your decision you made in the introduction. Let's, for example, say that you claim that everyone should have university education, and you say so in the introduction. Then the following paragraphs of the main body should tell us why you think that everyone should have a university education. And probably you have more than one argument. Thus, you also have more than one paragraph in the main body. Paragraph 1 of the main body is your first argument for saying that everyone should have university education. Paragraph 2 would be the second argument that supports your opinion. If you have a third argument, you can add a third paragraph in the main body. However, you cannot only present arguments supporting your decision or opinion. You also have to think about opponents to your view. So the final paragraph of your main body, usually paragraph 3 or maybe even 4 of the main body, should present the opposite aspect. So you do have to mention the other side as well. However, in that very same paragraph, you can, if possible, show that they are wrong in this. Now, the final paragraph of the opinion essay, again, is a summarizing of your arguments in 2 or 3 sentences, and you are allowed to restate your opinion. So let's have a look at the layout of an opinion essay. Usually, there is a title and the instruction says, do you agree? So, at the very least, you will have to have 2 sentences in your introduction. For example, the first sentence, introducing the topic of your essay, and then the second one, whether you agree or disagree with this viewpoint. In the main body, you then at least have 2 paragraphs that present the arguments supporting your opinion. Like I said before, the final paragraph in your main body should also present the opposite side. And then you have the final paragraph, the conclusion, in which you sum up, restate your opinion, and maybe once again mention your strongest argument that supports your opinion. Remember that in this final paragraph, you should try to change the wording. You should not repeat yourself word for word. So, to summarize, an opinion essay usually consists of 5 paragraphs. Paragraph 1, the introduction, in which you state your topic and give your opinion clearly. Then you have a main body of at least 3 paragraphs. Paragraph 1 of the main body giving the first argument, paragraph 2 giving the second argument, and then the final paragraph also giving the opposing viewpoint. And then you have a conclusion in which you restate your opinion using different words. So let's have a look at an example. Large and powerful cars are a danger to everyone and should be banned. Do you agree? Why or why not? And here it is. Few people would deny that global warming is a serious problem and that reducing carbon emissions is the main way to tackle it. Large, powerful cars produce far more carbon emissions than cars with small engines, and for this reason, I believe they should be banned. So here you go. Here you have your opinion. So after the introduction, I as a reader know exactly where you stand on this issue. Now, what are your arguments for saying that they should be banned? First and foremost, large cars with very powerful engines are completely unnecessary in today's world. Our city streets are full of these vehicles crawling along at 10 kilometers per hour and creating huge amounts of pollution. An electric car would be just as fast in a busy city and would produce no carbon emissions at all. Moreover, large cars are more dangerous for pedestrians and cyclists because they are heavier and more likely to cause serious injury or death if there is a collision. At a time when we are encouraging people to walk or cycle instead of driving, we should aim to make our streets as safe as possible, and that includes banning unnecessarily large cars. So here are your 2 arguments that support your opinion. Now we're coming to the opposite viewpoint. Of course, not everybody would agree with this position. Some people maintain that they have a genuine need for a very large car. For example, families with a lot of children may claim that only large vehicles, or people carriers, as they are sometimes known, provide enough room. So it is important that you also give the opposite side some room in your essay. Now we're coming to the conclusion. All things considered, I really do think that large, powerful cars should be made illegal. While it's true that they are useful for some families, they create an unacceptable amount of pollution and cause irreversible damage to the environment. So I believe this is a good example of an opinion essay and its layout. And this is roughly 250 words. Now let's have a look at some bad and good examples for the various parts of an opinion essay. Once I gave my class the topic of GM foods, genetically modified foods, whether they are a good solution and should be allowed or whether they should remain banned. Now here are some introduction examples, and these are the full introduction. So have a look at the first one, which is a bad example because it's only one sentence. And remember, I always say one sentence does not make up an introduction. And second, it only states the opinion, but it doesn't introduce the topic at all. Number 2 already is a bit better. I mean, at least it has 2 sentences, but again, it starts with your opinion right away, and that is not a good way to introduce the topic of your opinion essay. So let's have a good look at a good example. According to statistics, 30,000 children die of starvation in third world countries every day. The problem is gradually increasing, yet some people seem to have a solution: genetically modified foods. Are artificial products the solution to the lack of food? Now, what is missing here, of course, still is your opinion. So you now would have to give your opinion. You might want to say, I believe they are for a number of reasons, or however, I don't believe they are a good solution for the following reasons. Let's have a look at another example, which is more or less complete. Famines are a problem in many developing countries. At the same time, the population of the Earth is now growing faster than ever. Ironically, the majority of the growth comes from third world countries. I believe that the solution to the increasing food demand is genetically modified foods, but I'm also aware of the downsides. So here you have a clear indication of what your opinion is, but you also indicate already that you are aware that there is an opposite side. Now, main body, some good examples. So there you go. I'm not going to read this out to you anymore. You can stop the video at any time, of course. And then the second paragraph, which actually spreads across 2 pages. Sorry for that. So you have to read here first and then the second page. And that's all there is to opinion essays. Have fun writing them.